Garrett County.
Thank you. Delegate Beitzel, we'd like for you to answer this first question first. It seems that things are progressing rapidly in gas drilling operations of the Marcellus shale shelf in nearby Pennsylvania and West Virginia. And while no permits have been issued for drilling in the process known as fracking in Garrett County, gas companies have been positioning themselves in recent months to move their operations into Garrett County. They are doing this by obtaining mineral rights and rights of way from local residents, particularly in the Friendsville area. Are you staying abreast of this situation, and do you plan to introduce any legislation to protect our water supply and our environment in general from the potential harmful effects of fracking?
This is a subject on which I have a great deal of knowledge. I own property that I've investigated, leasing those properties, and I've really investigated what is required in making sure that as a landowner you have the safeguards and protections in place. And I've worked with a group of people and with Senator Edwards and had numerous meetings right here in this room with landowners that were interested in leasing their property for this purpose, for the purpose of extracting the natural gas that's in the Marcellus shale under this whole all of Garrett County. We hired a consultant from Pennsylvania that handles Pennsylvania's public lands to advise us and to prepare leases that safeguarded the landowners. I believe that we should be able to extract that gas. The property owners should be able to extract that gas. I think it'll have a huge economic impact on Garrett County, but I think we need to do it environmentally in an environmentally sound way. And I really think that if you look in the accident area, there's a gas field already where they're bringing natural gas in and pumping gas into the ground under extremely high pressure. And so as long as they can do it safely, I think we should proceed for the benefit of landowners in the county.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Stanton.
Thank you, Don. I am concerned about Marcellus shale drilling, and I don't believe that the people in the county have been adequately informed about it. By that, I mean I have not only studied Marcellus shale gas, I'd have to point out that in addition to my other professional degrees, and I had to leave home in order to make money just like my son has, and I'm not really happy about that. But went to George Washington University and picked up the Certificate of Environmental Management and Sustainability. There is a science. There are problems with Marcellus shale drilling, whether it's not having the baseline to know what's happening to our water table, whether it's monitoring the off-gassing that takes place. I'm not saying don't drill. I'm saying we need to have a baseline so that we can tell what is happening to our community. I think that we need jobs, but we should not be selling our souls just in order to have a few jobs. Most of the jobs that come in, at least during this stage, are going to be brought in as contractors. They'll spend some money here, eating, sleeping, having some fun. But it is not the permanent kind of jobs that we need for our people.
Subject of Marcellus shale. If a delegate owns land that he is considering leasing to drilling companies or selling mineral rights underneath that land to drilling companies, how can you write an unbiased bill regarding those rights without there being some kind of conflict of interest involved?
Condensed version for the broadcast. Delegate Beitzel in particular, how can you be impartial when it comes to legislation to control the Marcellus shale gas drilling operations when you actually own property that either is being leased or may be leased for that?
Well, I'm a strong personal property rights advocate. I own property, and my property, I believe, as long as I comply with all federal, state, and local regulations. But beyond that, I've worked with a whole group of property owners. We put together basically 40,000 acres of people that came together and met in this room and then signed leases. And unfortunately, due to the downturn in the economy, the company that was going to buy those leases did not execute, so all those landowners still have their mineral rights. As far as me personally as a legislator, passing and acting on a issue that deals with gas and mineral rights and surface rights. Those are issues that pertain to the state and everyone that may have those rights. And there isn't any legislature that could get away from some situation where you own your house or you own a farm or you own property in some fashion or another, that there isn't something you would vote on. But I would tell you, if there was an issue that was in direct conflict and that with my ownership or my position, I would abstain from voting on the issue.
In fairness, is there a question directed to Mr. Stanton?
I'd rather hear from him.
Or if he would like to respond, any additional information to the gentleman's question?
Yes, I would, and thank you for the question. I think that there are many people in this room who are relatively new, and there are many people in this room who are relatively older residents. We've been through this before. We've been through it with the coal mines. The nation needs our energy, but we have a right to expect good corporate behavior out of the groups that come in. I think that we should establish in law regulations or rules that are clear and make sense and are reasonable. And then we hold those entities to those standards we have set. The good guys, they get rewarded. The ones who are bad actors, and frankly there are very few of those, but they're the ones that cause the difficulty. Then we penalize them. There is little, I don't own gas land, and most of the county doesn't. Most of the things